Hey, friend, this is the Fresh Princess of Email Marketing speaking, Liz Wilcox, and you are listening to episode 30 of the Email Sound Booth podcast. Oh my gosh, this feels like a big milestone. 30 episodes. I feel so lucky to be doing this work. And for this episode, I'm going to keep it really short and sweet, and we're going to go over a super simple alternative to funnels. This is really kind of my formula for email marketing. So, number one, I want you to write a welcome sequence. You already get templates for the welcome template. Let me start that over. You already get templates for that sequence when you join my email list. If you aren't part of my email list and somebody forwarded this to you, I will put the link in the show notes. But if you are already part of my email list, number one, thank you. Number two, just hit reply to any of my emails and I'll send that welcome sequence to you again if you can't find it. But yeah, just write a welcome sequence. Number two, write a weekly newsletter that keeps you top of mind by showing that you're relatable and invested in the people in your community. So we just talked about this in episode 29 in depth. So if you need more examples on that, you can go to the previous episode 29, on how to be relatable and how to show you're invested in your weekly newsletter. So again, number one, welcome sequence. Number two, weekly newsletter. And number three, everybody's favorite, sales messages. We need sales emails either in those newsletters, right? And actually episode 28, is it 28? Hang on, let me look. Yes, episode 28 talks to you about how to sprinkle in sales messages into your weekly newsletters. And you also need a launch from time to time. So if you're not watching this on YouTube, you can't see it. But behind me, I have a giant calendar. And that's where I do this every year. And I just map out what I want my year to look like. I've got a few launches a year. Typically, in 2024, I had quite a bit more, just little mini launches, we'll say, but I had to map those out to make sure I stayed on track. And I know for the last launch in 2024, I know because I can look at my calendar, it's my Black Friday annual pass sale where you get all my products for free when you join a year inside email marketing membership for $108. How do I know that that's what I'm doing? It's in my calendar. And even in my calendar, if I look, I can see that in October, I have plans to start talking about that launch. So I really recommend a big old calendar if you need to visually see how to sprinkle in those sales emails and launches. So again, my formula for email is pretty simple. Number one, write a welcome sequence. Number two, write a weekly newsletter. Number three, sprinkle in sales messages in those newsletters and a launch from time to time. Boom, that's it. Seriously, that's what I do. No evergreen funnel. Even my welcome sequence is just 4 days long. Honestly, in 2024, I did experiment with a longer welcome sequence that kind of funneled people into my $9 membership, but it wasn't working the way that I wanted to, and I found my newsletters were converting better. So I just went back to that 4-day sequence, and now I send out just more frequent newsletters when I need to. That was easier for me. Now, when do you know you're ready for a funnel? I'd say is when you've launched an offer at least 3 times and you feel 100% confident in the offer and how it sells, right? I didn't create that longer funnel for email marketing membership for over 3 years. I'd been selling the membership for 3 years. I'd done way more than 3 launches of it. And I felt like, I really knew how to sell it. And I still feel like it. I just like having the 4-day sequence, and I like sending more frequent newsletters rather than, daily or almost daily emails for a few weeks. For $9, I felt like that was overkill. Okay. Now, if you're guessing or following someone else's formula too closely when you go to write your funnel, it might be too soon for your funnel. So you've really got to know, you've got to be able to say, like, I know why this thing sells, and I can write a sequence around those reasons that will make me money. Of course, when it comes to all this stuff, the welcome sequence, the newsletters, the sales messages, you already know email marketing membership gives you all three of these things wrapped up in a little $9 a month price tag bow. I'll link to that in the show notes, but I've been hinting it. Stay tuned. If you think you'd like to join for a year and get all of those other products for free I mentioned, those are pretty epic bonuses. And I'll be sharing more details on that and the wait list next week. All right, that's it for today. As always, come back in the reviews of this podcast. Let me know, did this episode in particular help you out? I really hope it did. I hope it made email, just understanding it, so much simpler. I hope you had a light bulb moment here. All right, I'll talk to you soon. As always, I'm Liz Wilcox. You are awesome, and I'll meet you on the next episode of the Email Sound Booth.